All right.
I
So here's
I
what we're
know I
going to do
didn't
with
do
the scope
anything
objection.
wrong.
Because the evidence has
mean
not been found,
the first interrogation that was
we're
put
going
into
to
the
remove the line
report
of
by
questioning
Cornwood.
anything
Anyways, I didn't even
Thank
put
you,
it
Your
in.
Honor.
and we're going to
And
strike
he
anything in regards to December 17th.
didn't edit anything.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It's there in full.
All right. I'm going to strike that questioning there. Counsel Hall, go ahead and proceed there.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. I
That
just
was
want
incredible.
to clarify. We would still assert that it is within scope, the question that I'm asking, even without.
Well, if it's being striked, then it wouldn't be in scope. Oh,
anything regarding December 17th and those incidents there is in regard to his employment. That's perfectly fine because that is inferring from the date of the incidents. I don't mind that. We also had agreed upon that we're not going to go ahead and try to basically expel him as a witness because of any secondary motivations. So let's proceed with that in mind and do so carefully. All right?
Absolutely, Judge. I'm going to move on in that case. The interrogations that took place. First off, if we can clarify, I mean, it's true that you didn't bring up the flash of a gun or getting shot in the first interrogation, isn't that right?
objection, Your Honor.
There it is.
He's doing this. I don't know what it. He's doing the same thing that you told me to stop doing. Correct,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, please just. I understand you can't do it. Just go ahead and make sure if you're asking it, just don't
Thank
put the
you, Your
words in
Honor.
their mouth.
Rephrase the question.
Let them ask it.
Thank you. No, could we please have him rephrased? Go ahead, Oliver.
Yeah, I certainly can rephrase, Judge. You know what? No further questions, actually. I'm going to withdraw that question. No further questions.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, I'm not even going to ask about this. I'm going to object to scope
Oliver.
as soon as they ask about the interrogation.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah,
all
do
just
it.
due to
Fuck
Oliver
it.
there, Murphy.
Of course.
Yeah,
I don't want them.
We're not going to recall Murphy, Your Honor.
Well, you have an option to redirect.
No, we're not going to redirect.
I don't even know.
No further questions.
I don't know why I couldn't ask a leading question
Mr.
on
Bachman, go
cross,
ahead
but
and,
that's okay.
Turn back to your
Thanks, Your
seat
Honor.
there.
Your Honor, I like to just call the recalled witness of Flop.
Mr. Dugan, could you go ahead and approach here?
Yes, sir. If you don't mind bearing with me for just a second before we start questioning.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
And I must remind you at this time you're still under oath.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Uh-huh.
Wait, you're still doing the other case after this?
The fuck is going on over there?
Oh.
Hey, are you still?
Flop, are you good there?
Yeah, I was just overhearing the conversation over here.
Oh, I'm just asking if Flop is, not you there, Robbie.
I apologize, Your Honor. I'm good.
All righty. Robbie, go ahead.
Flop. The weapon that you took off of Murphy. Did you guys go back and run the serial number on the weapon?
At the time of taking the weapon and taking it off of Mr. Braun, we did not have any way to run a serial as the gun was not serialed.
Okay. And what about later?
By the time... What do you mean?
The yes or no question. Did you run
I've already
the serial
answered.
number of the gun?
There's no serial on the gun, Rami.
Okay, so there was no serial on the gun. So then how come in your earlier testimony you said it was Leo Slack's weapon?
I never mentioned slacks.
You sure?
On my life, the first time I've heard about that is today in this courtroom by the defense.
1 second, Your Honor. Let me just talk to my counsel.
Hey, Sam, I don't care about League right now.
Talking about League of Legends. Yeah, I had no idea that this was Slacks' gun.
Kermit, could you repeat the last question and answer just for the record, please? The one that Rami just asked?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that I understand the phrasing of the answer correctly.
Rami asked, the weapon you took off Murphy, did you run the serial on the weapon? And then you want me to say the answer?
Yes, please.
Flop said, at the time of taking the weapon and taking it off Mr. Braun, we didn't have any way to run the serial as there was no serial. And then Rami said, why'd you say it was Slack's gun earlier?
Okay, and what was the answer?
He said, I never mentioned Slacks today in the court. It was the first time I've ever heard about that by the defense.
Okay, and so earlier in your previous testimony, when you're called as a direct witness for the prosecution, Officer Dugong, you stated that it was a PD Glock. Sorry, let me phrase that. You said that was a PD Glock. You can confirm that again? Or can you confirm that it was a PD Glock?
Yes.
Okay, how did you identify it as a PD Glock?
As far as I know, the only way you're able to get one of those is if you were a sworn officer in the LSPD. As of current.
And how does one procure such weapon?
Apply to the PD and get accepted? I'm confused.
Well, like, where would you go? Is it just like a giant box of guns? You just go in and go, haha, I can pull this out of a box, or is it issued to you? How do you receive such weapon?
Objection, argumentative. Counsel's testifying.
Your Honor, the intention wasn't to testify; it was to give it an example, so for clarification, I can rephrase if absolutely necessary.
Here's why. Hold on. I do
I'm
want to put
confused.
this in. Hey,
Yeah.
Let me address this real quick. And I want to be perfectly clear with this, and just to be crystal with y'all, is I'm aware at a certain period of time that when PD were issued their weapons, there was no way to actually trace them because there was no technology yet to do so. So, to my knowledge and understanding, I don't want to harp upon that just based upon where we have been and what we have available to us. When he said it's not available, it's purely because there was no technology to actually imprint anything originally, and the technology to read it afterwards
Oh
is
man,
not
let me
backdated.
cook. Actually, Your Honor, I could even bring something else into perspective too, if you would like me to answer it. It's actually in evidence that this is a PD issued firearm. It is stamped with a PD.
Fair enough.
That's going to be evidence
I just
number...
want to avoid
Sorry.
any sort of conversation that may bring a part into something that is very technical.
No, sir,
All
that
right.
was not my intention at all. I apologize if that was the intention that was implied. That was absolutely not what I was going down.
All right. Like, go ahead and proceed there.
Okay. How does one get one of the PD Glocks? Are they issued it upon like being accepted in the PD or what?
No, you are to purchase one at the armory that is locked behind multiple doors inside of the Mission Row Police Department, which is, as far as I know, the only place you can purchase one of those currently.
Understood. So you go into an armory and you're issued one through the proper channel, not going to SOPs, but you're just issued through the proper channels and means via the police department armory, correct?
I am authorized to carry one once I am a sworn officer.
We don't.
Your Honor, do you mind if I just mention something real quick?
Yes, go for it.
In evidence, I believe the People's Evidence 7, if I can count correctly, photo possession number 2, Murphy Braun, PD firearm. It is clearly stamped that this firearm is stamped for PD.
Your Honor, we'll just strike this.
Okay.
I'm just gonna sustain everything. It's fine. We don't have any questions. I
All
thought
right.
you said that it was Leo Slacks' weapon on the testimony. That's why I recalled you. To be honest.
Understood.
But
Yeah, no,
if you didn't, that's fine.
Rami, are we going to talk about
Rami, wait.
Nah.
All righty. Let's see here. Hey, Counsel Hall.
Nothing on cross for this witness, Judge.
All righty.
Am I going to
Officer
step down, Your
Gong?
Honor?
Yes, you may. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're good.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Uh-huh. Defense. Do you have anyone else?
How's the case going? I think I just put a wrench in Rami's claim.
I don't know if you heard, by the way, when I was, I think I was talking to Archer. I'm
Your
just
Honor,
trying to
we're
wrap
calling
this up.
Honorable Norman Adams to
I
the
don't-
stand, please.
All righty.
I don't know how.
Adams, go ahead and step on up.
I never. I don't know. I'm
It's interesting. I think they're missing all the good points here that they could argue with.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know.
The speculatory
kidnapping.
evidence. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not hitting on
Judge
that.
Adams,
So I don't know.
you did
I don't know
swear
what's
the
going
oath,
on
yes?
anymore. I'm just gonna try and get the
I
questioning
swore
done as
to,
soon as
Judge
possible.
Ingleman,
That's
yes, Your Honor.
fine.
Wrap this
All
up.
right.
That's
I
my
must
plan.
remind you that you're
You're
still
good.
on oath at this time.
Fantastic.
All right. Defense, you may begin.
Yeah, just so it's clear, we only have certain things that will allow us to identify if something
Norman, did you
is...
see Murphy the day of this
Let's
incident?
see. When you actually look at possession
So it's
number
a little
2,
blurry. I
you can
saw
clearly
him
see that
the
it is
night
a
of
PD
January
firearm.
5th, leading into January 6th.
Okay. Can you go in further into detail on that?
Sure. So the night of January 5th, we were here for a trial. That was set to take place. It was Vivek Ramaswamy versus Pilbis Shanley. I was called to court as a witness, as the individual who presided over a bench trial pertaining to an incident between the two. Judge Brittany Angel was presiding.
I really
and
hope they didn't
Murphy
withhold
Braun was
evidence
in the
here.
court.
I'll let you listen, though.
And we had also spoken, throughout the
Hoping
building
not
and,
as
and
well.
out front throughout the day.
This was the day before the alleged incident, or the night before the alleged incident, or the day of the alleged incident?
My understanding, Rami, is that the incident occurred just after midnight on the 6th, so it would have been in the hours immediately prior.
Before the party, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And can you tell me about Murphy's demeanor that day?
Sure.
What?
Murphy was acting like he, normally would. I believe.
Is he speculating on Murphy's emotion?
About, I don't know. He loves football.
No,
talked
basically
about
how
that.
he interpreted it.
Just about general
Okay.
goings on in the city. He
Okay.
didn't appear
Did he
agitated
seem off?
or
Okay, yeah.
no, he didn't appear agitated, distressed, or anything to that effect.
Okay, and now not stressed like you said. Murphy was acting the way normally Murphy acts.
Yeah. If anything, he was a little bit excited.
Is that
because he was
leading?
Going to Raymond's birthday party.
Okay. And did he come to see you after the
It's all
Raymond
good.
party?
No. At the conclusion of the trial, I believe I gave Judge Angel a ride home, and I did not see Murphy Braun after that point.
Did you see him at the trial mentioned for Vivek as well?
Yes, I did.
And how did he seem over there?
He was fine. I couldn't really observe.
This is
anything
more of a
too
believable
direct.
case.
I believe he was standing up to Judge Bailey's
Yeah.
left here. And I was sitting.
They're
directly
pertaining to his
behind where the
condition.
prosecution are situated, as I was called as a witness for Mr. Ramaswamy.
Okay. Now, were you at that Raymond party as well, or did you just drop
no.
him off there?
No, I was not. After the trial, I brought Angel home. I did not see Murphy Braun after that.
Okay. And did you witness him on the phone at any point, or taking any phone calls or anything?
I may have, but I couldn't speak to the nature of those.
What do you mean? Like the context of
wasn't
what
an
he was saying,
answer.
'cause you didn't hear him, or?
Correct. Yeah, he may have taken a phone call. I couldn't tell you about what or from
Where's,
who.
where's Maxine
Nor
gone?
did he tell me anything about
Went
such.
to, do some group sex. Oh, well, thank you for staying. Yeah, it's interesting. I like that.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about
And did
getting
you
into
contact him at any
enforcement?
point during while he was at the party, like through the phone or anything?
No, I did not.
You never thought about being a cop? No.
Can I give me 1 second? Let me just talk to my counsel.
Mhm.
Honestly, I think the only reason that they should have called this, I guess, the judge witnesses up, is if we were able to attack Braun's credibility. But since the judge wouldn't allow us really to do that, I don't know.
That is all, Norman. We won't we won't need your time anymore. Thank you.
Don't seem to be relevant.
Yeah, but I'm mad at him right now. Why are you mad? Because he ditched me.
Well, there, Judge Adams, how are we?
Texts later in
Hold
the
on.
day.
Anyone else there from your defense before
No,
you?
Your Honor.
All right. All right. Go ahead then, Counsel Hall.
Thank you. Yeah. So, Judge Adams, I just want to clarify: did you
Sure.
contact the defendant at any point after he became inebriated?
No, I did not speak to
Objection,
Murphy
Your Honor.
Braun
Scope.
from-
No, we were supposed to hang out tonight, and I think
We never.
he was
He wasn't at the party.
make it up to
And
me.
he lacks
Yeah, but
foundational
it's
knowledge.
6, so he's going to sleep. Oh no. Yeah.
Rebuttal there.
Yeah, certainly, Judge.
Walked
We've already established that the defendant became intoxicated at the party. Asking this witness, who again knew the
Your Honor,
defendant,
my
went to
witness
the.
stated that he
I'm
didn't see
sorry,
him at
I'm
the
still
party.
talking, Your Honor.
Let him
I would
finish
appreciate-
there, Rami.
Of course.
Thank you. Again, as defendant went to the party.
Going on.
So asking him if he was in contact with the defendant after he became inebriated at the party would not be out of scope. And again, if the witness had personal knowledge or didn't, he would be able to answer yes or no. Yes, he contacted him. No, he didn't, and I'm not aware.
Government employees. Oh wow.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. Go ahead and rephrase and re-ask the question. You can ask similar to the scope of it, but just go ahead and rephrase that in a way to
I mean, if it's something that you want to do, you should do it. Right.
specific towards the answers that Judge Adams gave over here. The fact that he was inebriated was from direct testimony from, well, not inebriated, but 1 or 2 drinks was from Murphy's side to it. So he cannot actually speak to his state of mind during the party. If you could go ahead and re-ask those questions in a way that is to the knowledge of Judge Adams, we'll go that way. All right.
Absolutely.
I don't
I'll answer
remember
this way.
Slacks
Judge
ever
Adams,
mentioning
did
the
you
gun.
contact
I'm
the
trying.
defendant
I'm
at
like.
any
I'm trying to
point
remember.
after
Did Flop know
when he
about this?
left for the party?
All Slacks ever told
No,
Flop
I don't even know when
was
he
that
left for the party.
the gun was used in a murder
I
that
left it
Flop was
immediately after
previously
the conclusion of
investigating.
the
And when
court
Flop
case, so I
asked,
referenced
"Hey
it.
Slacks, do you know?"
Right, so you can't speak to his demeanor after you met with him at the courthouse. Is that right?
No, I cannot.
And you can't provide any testimony as to what could have happened to the
Hope you
defendant
lose. What the
after he
fuck,
left the
cat?
courthouse. Isn't that right?
That is correct.
All right. No further questions, Judge.
Your Honor, I would like to point out he's still doing the. Is that right? Instead of correct.
It's fine, Rami, at this point. I'm just going to allow it between
Sounds
both of
good.
y'all.
Objection, Your Honor. I like to. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
Isn't
All
that
right.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
What?
Slacks mentioned to Flop that the gun was used in a murder, but we ended up
Isn't that what?
doing
Go
away
ahead,
with
complete
that
the
because it
statement.
was sort of an OOC
I'm not
agreement,
gonna
and
complete the
then
statement,
it
Your
got
Honor.
weird
Can I complete the
because
statement
of
without getting
some
contempt
other
of court, Your
stuff.
Honor?
Please.
Go ahead.
So, how you doing, Cat? How
I
you
suspect
been?
opposing counsel is formerly bitch made. I mean, I wasn't gonna ask you. You kept telling me to ask.
Your
you,
Honor, could we note for the record that the only person that laughed at that joke was Miss Fitzpatrick?
No,
I
Sonny
laughed at the
laughed
joke.
too.
Yeah,
That's
it was
perjury.
actually-
Yeah,
I also
everybody
laughed.
That's
laughed.
perjury.
I'm sorry, I also laughed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, frankly, if I knew what bitch made, maybe, but I don't. Anyway, let's keep going there.
That's hard.
They just tried. They just tried to rip with the court on perjury.
That's it, right? I mean, Norman's good because he redirected.
Oh
We're
my
not recalling
God.
him now.
Alrighty. You can go ahead and step down there, Judge Adams.
Thank you.
All
Your
right,
Honor.
Your Honor. Lastly, finally, we'd like to call the Honorable, beautiful Judge Brittany Angel. Hey, I might have a hookup on another arm, by the way. I'll let you know that after.
Thank you, Romy.
Alrighty. Judge Angel. Recall that you have been sworn in, yes?
Yes, that's correct.
Then I must remind you that any question that you answer is still on the oath, all right?
Yes, of course, Your Honor.
Alrighty. Defense, you may go ahead and proceed.
All right, everybody, why don't we give her a hand? All right, I'm sorry. I just had to do that. Okay, Angel, did you see Murphy on the day of the crime? Of the alleged crime?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you mind going into detail on that?
Yeah, I was presiding over a civil case with Vivek Ramaswamy and Pilvish only, and was in the courtroom shadowing off to the side.
Last one is being called. Hold on, I'm gonna just confirm this before I even, because he.
Can you tell me about Murphy's demeanor that day?
He seemed pretty normal.
I'm gonna try and get units down here. Would you, for your own personal belief, believe that threats were made toward you during this court case? Possibly.
Yeah, they certainly were by Mr. Rob.
Okay, I'm just, I'm making that. I'm just gonna make note that I get units. I don't care how the trial goes. Just make sure that people can have your back walking out of here.
Okay, so
Hey, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I certainly hope he doesn't take any action.
Yeah, I don't believe he would, but
Is it after the court case?
it's not up to me to decide that. It's up to how you perceive his demeanor. So it was a threat made against you, not me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
And did you drop him off at the party, or you stopped seeing him at the court? Like, how did you?
I don't specifically remember the exact last moment that I didn't see him, but it was sometime near the end of the court case. He stepped out.
Okay,
So
and sorry, go ahead.
So I did not drop him off at the party. To answer
Okay.
your question.
When he left the court case, did he just walk out, or was he on the phone or anything?
I don't recall him being on the phone.
And did you witness him on the phone at any point throughout the day that you saw him?
To be honest with you, I wasn't really looking at Murphy that often. I can't say that I do recall him being on the phone though.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me just talk to my counsel here. See if we have any further questions.
This is it.
What the fuck did
That's
I
all
miss
that
already?
Your Honor,
Caller for?
that's all.
What did I miss regarding list number 1? What happened?
I guess Rami's been making some whispered comments to Oliver, and I asked him if he felt like they could
No
be.
questions from the state,
Didn't
Judge.
he literally yell out at one point?
Angel,
and
we're not going to
nobody
recall you.
dies or
Sorry again.
something?
We should
Yeah.
probably questioned you first.
Also, Slacks, you were a witness to the fact that he blew smoke in my face, right?
Probably should have requested
Yes, you
request,
did.
Judge Angel.
Okay.
Hope you don't feel like your time was wasted.
If he wants to play any games, I don't mind arresting him for assault and battery.
Step down, obviously.
My number.
mentioned,
I got a hookup for
Can
an
I
arm,
talk
by
to
the
you
way.
for a minute?
I gotta
But
leave
you know,
right here pretty
I'll keep you
soon.
posted.
Is it long?
You guys take care. All right.
Alrighty. Counsel Robin, have anybody else?
That is all, Your Honor. I think we're ready for closings.
Is there any evidence that you would like to point to me?
Guys?
We'll highlight in closing, Your Honor, and we'll email you a copy of the closing argument for your review during deliberation.
Alrighty. You'll need a moment to prepare your closing.
No, Your Honor.
We're ready.
All set to proceed, Judge.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and do so.
Great job, guys. You got this.
All right, may I proceed, Your Honor?
You just bear with me 1 minute. Yes, come on up here.
Absolutely.
Your Honor, mind if I ask, will the ruling be today, or is this going to be?
Yes, I do everything
Okay.
today. I don't.
Okay.
I don't
Thank you.
extend it.
W. All right.
That is not my prerogative. I go back to the days of long, long, long ago. I
Of
don't.
course.
I don't extend them out further than needs to.
Sounds good.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to first start by going over all the evidence in this case. And I guess basically just to recap what we heard and what the evidence showed during the course of this trial. We know based on the evidence that on the 6th, the defendant was present on Joshua Road. He was in possession of a government-issued firearm. Although a judge does not possess the legal authority to possess a government-issued firearm. Only law enforcement officers can. We know that based on the testimony, and we know that based on the law. Now, the question that the defense raised originally was, how do we know that the defendant intentionally and knowingly possessed this firearm? And the answer is pretty simple. When they searched him, not only did they find the firearm on his person, but they also conducted a GSR test, a gunshot residue test. That test indicates whether or not that person has shot recently, and the defendant was positive for GSR. That means prior to his incapacitation, he fired that gun. And when he fired that gun, he was conscious. He knew he was in possession of the gun. He knew what he was doing with the gun. He knew that he was firing that gun and that it was unlawful for him. He did so, that he possessed it rather, knowingly and intentionally. That GSR test is conclusive evidence that he was aware of what was happening. This wasn't planted on him when he was unconscious. And I'd like to now go into the other evidence that we heard. Like I said in the opening, a reasonable doubt is only a doubt if it is based on the evidence. Now, there is some points I want to refute here. I'll start off with the 911 calls that were received. There were 4 that were received. 2 robbery calls, a shots fired
Objection,
call.
Your Honor.
What are you
never
objecting
mind.
to
Never,
there?
never. Your Honor,
Can
never
we
mind.
object to
Proceed, Council Hall.
He can.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I
Again,
believe he's trying to.
from that Joshua
I believe he's
Road
trying to
scene.
confuse him.
There were the robbery calls. There were the vehicle leaving the scene, and then there was the incapacitation, the shots fired, incapacitation, and then of course the fleeing the scene. So, what all that means is, although the 911 calls were placed and they reported different things, they reported a robbery taking place, they reported a vehicle leaving the scene. There is not a shred of evidence that supports that those 911 calls were true. And for the court to believe the veracity of those 911 calls, there needs to be contributory evidence. And there was not in this case. Law enforcement did not see a vehicle flee the scene when they arrived there. They did not find any physical evidence that any other individual was present on scene with the defendant. So, those 911 calls, they don't add up. They're not supported by the evidence to be true. Second thing comes down to the kidnapping that took place. We know as a certainty that this was unrelated to the defendant. Now, the individual that reported the kidnapping, he at first claimed to be meeting with the defendant, but at no point was that corroborated. All right, the kidnapping that took place, the only description he gave was that it was two individuals, a clown and a man. And when law enforcement later conducted a lineup with the defendant to discern if the defendant was kidnapped in that incident, the man that reported the kidnapping said no.
Do we know if
that
Oliver's
is not
live
the
right
man
now?
that I saw get kidnapped. So we know, based on the evidence, that this kidnapping is not related. It doesn't have anything to do with the defendant ending up on Joshua Road. Now, the only explanation as to why the defendant was up on Joshua Road is coming from his own mouth. He was at a party, he became inebriated, and from there he made his way up to Joshua Road. So, all of this is to say that the defense is presenting no actual defense, no theory as to why the defendant was in possession of the gun or how his possession was lawful under the circumstance, because there's no evidence to support that claim.
Let me check.
Free Mr. K, suck my dick from the back, bitch.
Oh.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Hey, sorry, free the real. You know what I mean, Your Honor? Free the real. Hey, you go ahead, guys.
What was that
All right,
about?
I'm not sure what that was about, but as I was saying, there
I
are
had
two
no
main
idea
points.
either. And Mr. K's not even in this damn courthouse. Well, he could be downstairs, but he's not here. Anyway, go ahead.
Hey, free the real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so as I was saying, I want to bring up what I said at the opening. There are unanswered questions. There are. But because there are unanswered questions, that does not mean we have not met our burden. We have proved beyond a reasonable doubt the crime, the defendant possessed a government-issued firearm. He was in possession. He knew he was in possession. There was no other lawful excuse for him to be in possession. But just because there are some questions we don't have the evidence to answer, that doesn't mean we haven't met our burden. There's plenty of evidence here. Second point, of course, is what a reasonable doubt is. Any theory that the defense is going to claim, there needs to be evidence to support it. And if there's not, there is not a reasonable doubt in the defendant's guilt. I'll wrap up by saying, Your Honor, we've laid out the evidence. It's quite clear that the defendant violated the law in his possession of this government-issued firearm, and for that reason, we ask that you find him guilty. Thank you.
Good job.
Very well put, Oliver. I'm. Thank you. I know we've had hiccups.
Can you speak up, Your Honor, or you're not speaking to me? Okay, sorry.
I need food.
Yeah,
I hope you fucking die, Oliver, honestly.
Well, I
Hey.
don't know that I have food for you anymore.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Rami, I will place you in cuffs and throw you in jail for criminal threats.
I didn't threaten him. I just said I hope he dies.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a threat. I hope
Your
he dies.
Honor,
You did blow smoke
are
in
you
my
ready?
face. That is definition
Let me know.
assault and battery.
Yeah,
If you'd like to go down that route.
Flop, this ain't gonna work. Hey, it's not your courtroom, Flop. It's the judge's. Kate, can I get that sandwich, please?
All righty.
Rami, You need to
Go
be a little
ahead,
bit
Sean.
nicer. You're being
Your Honor,
you're doing
oppressive
you're doing too
language
much
does
right
more than
now.
represent violence.
Oh my
It is violence. It does more than represent the limits of knowledge. It limits knowledge. Whether it is obscuring state language or the faux language of mindless media,
say thank
whether it is the
you.
proud but calcified language of the academy,
I'm
or the
sorry,
commodity-driven language of
That's
science,
okay. I don't know what
whether it is
happened
the
to that guy.
malign language of law without
Every time
ethics,
I've
it must
ever
be rejected,
conversed with him,
altered, and exposed.
He's always been rude to me.
It
I'm
is the
not sure
language
why.
that drinks blood.
What is she
lacks
saying?
vulnerabilities, tucks its
don't
fascist
know.
hooks into
No.
crinolines of respectability and patriotism as it moves relentlessly towards the bottom line and the bottomed out mind. Unreceptive to interrogation, it cannot form or tolerate new ideas, shapes, other thoughts, tell another story, fill baffling silences. Official language smithered to sanction ignorance and preserve privilege is a suit of armor
I love Shaban.
polished to shocking glitter, a husk from which the night departed long ago. Yet there it is, dumb, predatory, sentimental, exciting reverence in school children, providing shelter for despots,
like a
summoning false
soliloquy?
memories of
What is it?
stability and harmony among the
I don't
public.
know.
Just as Toni Morrison stated in her Nobel lecture, accepting the Nobel Prize, we urge this court to yearn for more than the letter, but also the spirit of the law. Murphy Braun was clearly the individual kidnapped from City Hall shown in the evidence of the 911 call, where an individual was reported kidnapped from
Facts
City Hall.
not in evidence.
No one else has reported that they were kidnapped from City Hall. Murphy Braun was essentially human trafficked, set up, and framed, and the PD is only concerned about constructive possession. There is not a shred of evidence the prosecution has produced that would give a motivation for a sitting judge to risk the most powerful
Can't you
position
object on
they
facts
can
not in
aspire
evidence?
to. In short, Your
I'm
Honor,
not
there
gonna
is
object
no
to the
MO.
closing. I'm
There
not gonna
is
stoop
no
to that
mens rea.
level.
There has been no officer's testimony to their gun being stolen. It is constructive possession based solely on being found on an individual who has been injured and should not be enough to convict.
That's already been
Full
stated
stop.
in what I
Constructive
said.
Possession requires the prosecution to prove two elements.
We couldn't prove
knowledge of the item in
the serial
question
because there were no
and the
serials on
ability
the
to
gun.
control the item in question. Anyone who has been injured to the point of being
Alright.
rendered unconscious
I'm so
or
confused.
incapacitated is
too.
unable to stop individuals with nefarious
Let her
intentions from rifling through their pockets. Judge Murphy Braun has a legally issued hunting license that is viewable in his public profile in the MDT. Reasonable doubt is clearly introduced that you cannot know what happened during the time he was
Ooh,
incapacitated.
hold
for.
on.
Convicting someone based on knowledge you know that you do not have, that may
Wait a
be
second.
exculpatory.
Oh,
The
you
hunting regulations are only
malicious
put in place on
disregard
the
for the rights
16th.
of
Call
the
it out.
individual.
Call that out. That
For
is
the
so good to call
prosecution
out.
to have admitted as such, as Oliver Hole, opposing
If you
counsel,
don't, I
stated
will.
openly.
You can if
They
you want. I'm
didn't
not gonna
find
object to
any
it.
physical
No,
evidence.
it's,
The evidence is limited.
There,
Because
remember,
of
there
that,
was
will
like
be
that week or
unanswered
two.
Oh my God,
span
wait, you're
where
right, you're right.
people-
Oh, you saved me. You're right.
Doubt works. The prosecution has
No,
essentially
because
admitted
I remember
they
it
don't
because
have
I
enough to
brought it up
convict
that
based on the evidence
maybe
they have and are
he-
asking for the
I'm actually
judiciary
gonna-
to overlook
I'm gonna clarify
exculpatory
for
facts
the
in
courts,
favor
though.
of a conviction. Your Honor, the defense would assert if this isn't malicious prosecution, then I don't know what is. Presenting an indictment based on a fabricated narrative is inherently malicious. We hope this court holds that individuals who are victims should not be unilaterally treated as criminals by the police department and finds everything from the resulting search of what may have come as fruit of the poisonous tree. If this court does not find this compelling and ignores fruit of the poisonous tree as such, then a GSR test performed by an officer with cannot be held as definitive proof beyond a reasonable doubt that
I
any
got the
person
information
fired
from
whatever
DOJ.
gun the
I need
officer
units
may
ready for
claim
raid.
that had no personal knowledge.
Send it.
Mens rea or a guilty mind is required to convict for most statutory charges.
Then take care of that real quick. We'll do the raid afterwards. Flop, we're about
Without
to conduct
mens
a
rea,
raid.
The jet
finding an
situation,
individual guilty of a
I
crime
can deal with. Don't worry about this.
Alright, then let's
renders the
break up 10
judicial
minutes. It's
system a
about life.
farcical
Flop, we have a
excuse
raid
for a
going on right
double-think
now.
world.
I'm
The
not
most
sure if we can
basic of all legal
spare manpower
concepts should
for
be
the
understood
city
by
hall.
this judiciary,
Copy. We'll stay put for now.
but I feel the need.
Copy. Just let us
I
know
feel the need
verdict.
at
That
this
way we can
time
help out
for everyone else
afterwards. We'll
in
be
this
on
courtroom to
Grove Street.
expand.
Copy that. I'll be off radio. I have
It
to
is
speak
on
in
the
court right now, but
prosecution
I will
to
keep that in
prove
mind.
mens rea, to prove
copy.
knowledge of the item in constructive possession. These have not been proven in this court of law beyond a reasonable doubt when the facts of the case are clearly not in line with the legal rhetoric. The courts, when first conceived by the founding fathers, were intentionally designed as such that 9 guilty men would walk free before a single innocent rots in prison, deprived of their right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. The standard of beyond a reasonable doubt
They're talking about the
is
GSR
intentionally
test.
high, with the full knowledge and intent that guilty individuals will walk, but that it is worth it for the state to do so, as to preserve the rights of the innocent civilians from whose consent it derives its power. Actions to the contrary are civil rights violations in and of themselves and destroy the basic tenets of the social contract. As famed philosopher Immanuel Kant once opined, in law, a man is guilty when he violates the rights of others. As such, violating the rights of the innocent would condemn the judge as the guilty one in this courtroom. Given the basic legal concepts expressed, the lack of ability to prove the necessary elements of mens rea and constructive possession through testimony evidence provided, this court has no choice but to acquit. Thank you, Your Honor.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Your Honor, a brief objection. I wasn't going to interrupt the closing, and I'll let you kind of make the judgment on how you want this. As for the hunting piece, hunting licenses were not instated until after Murphy Brown was in custody. He did not have a hunting license at the time of him being placed under arrest. However, sales of hunting rifles were allowed prior to people owning a legal hunting license. I just wanted that clarified for the courts.
Thank you for the clarification. Appreciate
Sounds
that.
good, bro. Nobody cares, Flop.
Robbie.
Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Nobody cares about you not caring him.
Well, nobody cares about you not caring about me not caring about him not caring about what he just said.
I ain't got feels like that. All right. It's Fitzpatrick, could you go ahead as you stated that you would send that over to me?
Yeah, send it over right now.
Ain't no way he reading all that.
Oh,
No, I
did you
will,
write
actually.
this up?
Oh, yes,
Is that
sir.
why she wanted
I was
the
whispering.
soliloquy?
I think so.
Oh, will you
I
now?
see. That
I
makes
heard
more
you pretty
sense.
loud and clear there, Robbie.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic job. Well done.
Hey, how long do you think Reese is going to be, Your Honor?
Reese, the piece.
Recess.
Pieces.
Oh,
Reese's Pieces are really good.
it might be a few pieces. I can't tell you how many
Okay.
pieces, but it might be 2 or 3.
Hours?
No, just a few
Oh.
pieces.
Oh, so like minutes? Seems like
Well,
an easy thing here. Oliver, looks
Robbie,
like you
here's
lost.
what I would like you to do. Tell me how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, and it might be that long.
I can take it in 1 minute.
At least 3
Pause.
seconds.
Pause.
All right. At this time, I'll go ahead and put the court into recess. I will go ahead and conduct deliberations. You're free to move about the country as you so will. The hell did you touch my damn gavel for?
I didn't. That
I
wasn't
love
me. That was you.
Southwest.
That is the worst thing that you could do to me, Robbie.
Yeah, that wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Hey, Siobhan.
My hands are up.
All right. I'll go ahead and announce when I have come to my conclusion, and I'll
hell
call
yeah.
y'all back.
Oh,
All right?
okay. So like ETA? No.
Two
Oof.
pieces.
Okay. So Lance's parents got a real good marriage. Can I talk to you really quick?
You did phenomenal, Oliver. I think considering some of the hiccups we had building up to this, I think we worked through them relatively respectably. And I think considering you were essentially outnumbered by the amount of counsel on the opposing, you held yourself well considering the outbursts.
What?
Thank you.
What do you guys think of Siobhan's closing?
I want to ask her how many pages it was. That was crazy.
I thought it was very eloquently written.
It was, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I
It
definitely
was
zoned
like
out during
a
most
like a
of it.
poem.
Yeah,
honestly, at the beginning.
I zoned out.
But
It was a lot.
It was, but
What do I look like?
I
work at Senior
I thought it
Pubs?
was interesting when she said that the evidence in the 911 call clearly states that it was Braun that was kidnapped, which it doesn't.
You're an adult.
And then she
legally
said
have to
nobody
be an adult
else
to live here.
Yeah.
came forward as the kidnapping victim, and I said Braun also didn't come forward as the kidnapping victim.
Yeah.
Go tell Grace to give you
True,
food.
actually.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Well, then I guess you're gonna have to feed yourself, dear.
She's so
That means walking all the way to Senior Puns.
Oh, God forbid.
you know, no victim, no crime, right?
I guess so.
Officers, do you want any food?
I do not, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Siobhan.
Yes?
Completely off the record. I'm so curious. How many pages was your closing? I was impressed with the way that you You sent that. That was actually incredible.
In 11-point font, it was 1.5 pages. In a font that was readable, it was 8. 8 pages.
Holy.
Yeah, wasn't that?
That was a lot better than my closing arguments used to be, where I was like, "Let me rap god this real fast."
You actually you rap godded it. It was incredible. I was like, oh my
Did
god.
I rap god again?
I mean, you kind of spit bars. It was good. I was impressed.
God damn it.
I
Thinks their arms are long enough to slap box, slap box.
Good job and good luck to you.
I do want to make note that this was an overwhelming case overall. I think you guys handled yourselves well.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. I just have to tell you that Oliver's fucking condescending voice, I talked to him about it before, that it really
Yes,
gets on my
as to
nerves,
you, as
that
to
he's
you.
smarmy as fuck, and he just continues to condescend,
I'll leave
and
you
I
guys
can't
to
handle
it.
it.
He's
and I
got
want to slap it off his...
Oh my god. I think Oliver sounds wonderful. Hey, Oliver.
Oh, hey, how are you?
Doing good.
Chastanisberg!
What happened?
Who? Oh, that guy, the foreign guy you're talking about.
He's American. Chastanisberg Andersonus Bergensen.
That is an American? No fucking way.
You...
Sebastian, is that all you?
I'm telling him to come here. I need to talk to Chastanisberg immediately. Immediately. Chastanisberg, come here. Come to City Hall. Come to the 3rd floor courtroom. 3rd floor courtroom. Run. Run. Don't rent a car. Just run.
I could give him a ride.
Okay, actually, someone wants to give you a ride, okay?
Where is he at?
Are you at the apartments? Are you at the apartments? Where are you?
Okay. It's like I didn't think she would be a prosecutor. But
I'll be
He
right
hung
back.
up
Give me
on
1
me.
second. Hey.
Hi.
So, Rami's made some questionable comments to my lawyer, and he also walked over and started saying that he hopes he dies once this case is over. So,
Are you sure he's just been twatting about RuneScape?
Old school or RS3? That's important.
I don't know. Lumbridge, something. I don't know.
That could be
Lumbridge is in both.
RS3 or OSRS. We all know OSRS is the superior.
Yeah.
Wait, did someone say OSRS?
OSRS
Yeah.
is superior to RS3.
That's right.
Agreed. Are you guys
Thank
talking
you.
about Oldscape, dude?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's your guys' fucking Slayer level, dude?
Slayer level, I think I'm 89.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm only like 60, dude.
I don't do the willy bosses. I can't. Those just scare me way too much.
You're gonna get fucked, man.
I know. I get dick done.
Yeah, that's what everyone who doesn't actually play says, though.
Yeah, I get dicked on whenever I fucking go PvP. I'm not smart enough for PvP. PvE, however, I'll run that shit all day. Slayer's like my bread and butter. I think I'm base 89 attack, strength, defense. Range I think is 91 if I remember correctly.
Damn. Whoa.
I AFK'd skeletal wyverns for a little bit. I won't lie.
Where are the skeletal wyverns?
They are, so if you go north of Falador, I believe, or east of Falador, there's a dungeon, and you pass black dragons, and
Wait, are you talking about the dungeon northwest of Falador?
No, there's one northeast of Falador.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if you go through there, it's kind of a pain, but eventually, actually, no, I'm wrong. Shit, it's so you go. Oh god, is it Falador? You have to go south. There's a fairy ring right next to the.
Are you talking about the Mudskipper Point?
I think so. I think it's Mudskipper Point.
Okay.
And you go down a ladder, and if you don't have an agility level, you can eat. I forget it is the summer pie. Go through the tube, run by the black dragons, and eventually it turns snowy. And the game even warns you and says, "Hey, when you enter here, this is dangerous as fuck." But once you get the system down, you work range up. Oof, it is perfect.
Yeah, I'm like right before that point, dog.
Oh,
Hold on, I gotta go. I gotta do this someone right. Good luck.
We'll talk soon. Oh my god.
There's nothing wrong
I'm
with
such
cutting
a
U-logs.
whore. I love OSRS.
I just liked cutting U-logs up in that one place.
You're
There's
right.
like 3 in a pair.
Hey guys, can we get
Right next to
back on
Camelot.
subject?
It's like a city away from Camelot. Anyway, okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, Rami's threatened Oliver a couple times, and I want to keep an eye on him.
Okay, why don't we push criminal threats on him?
Right now, I don't want to extend this out any longer than it's been. I'm going to be honest with you. I have 30 days to press the idea that he's already blown smoke in my face after I gave him a cigarette, which is assault and battery. I've already warned him about that if he keeps this up, I don't mind placing him in cuffs. I'm just asking for some, I guess, behavior in the courtroom. And I just ask that Oliver gets safely brought out into a vehicle and transported away so that he is not harmed. Because of the raid, I've told Slacks that we're going to wait here for wait for everyone to clear out before we do anything.
Okay. Sounds like they need to hire some bailiffs.
There is one bailiff, but it's something Dan. I don't know. Not Judge Ingle Dan. Apparently Judge Ingle Dan died.
Yeah, well, he's missing.
Yeah. I'm going to step back inside the courtroom. I want to make sure Oliver's safe.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know if I can step back in there.
Oh, Flop, I need to talk with you.
Is it prudent right now? Are we able to wait?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, you're good.
What's that? Is it brief?
Yeah, it's brief. It's super brief, but I'd have to talk to you without Kurt here.
Oh. Okay.
I'm running. I'm leaving the courthouse.
Right. What's up?
Kurt, don't leave. Kurt kind of has a baby mama in there, and he's afraid of her. You know, Sam, blonde, other side of the thing. So, you might just stay out here.
Oh, for Kurt?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go in, but he might stay out here.
That's fine. That's all good.
Okay. Okay.
The way that the trial went, he should be found guilty, but I don't know what he's gonna do.
That's the thing is though is that
Flop, I don't want to put on my vest.
If they had,
How
if
come?
they had really focused on the execution,
Because it's bulky and heavy.
I agree. Oh, okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. It's okay.
But
Thank
yeah,
you.
like the fact that they didn't focus on that, I don't feel like they really presented a good enough case to,
I don't think they
show a reasonable doubt.
Yeah, honestly, I could care less how the verdict goes. I was disgusted in the fact that they tried to claim that we tried to withhold evidence. We pushed every fucking barrier that we could to the fullest extent that we were able to at the time. And we hit a fucking wall every time. And I can't even say we. Kit did so much work on the back end for that.
I tried to prove his innocence.
The push to try was there to start with, and in the end, it came up inconclusive. So it's unfortunate, but I don't know. Someone just walk into the courtroom.
Yeah, Carmela did.
Oh, I'm having a hard time seeing Carmela. Okay.
That's okay.
What do you think, Flop? You think guilty or not guilty?
I mean, I'm biased, but I would say based on their closing argument and based on our closing argument, I think facts were in evidence. And I think regardless of if he had a hunting rifle or not, he was still on scene of gunshots, and we still proceeded with a gunshot residue test. I don't care.
I mean, the thing is that they have to prove that he shot the hunting rifle.
Yeah, evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. As for where the gunshot residue came from is not my problem. When I arrived on scene, it was gunshots reported in the area, a 47. Just like any other call that I would proceed with, I would GSR test anyone on scene, witness or injured party. He came back positive. I frisked him. And oh, hey, would you look at that? A gun was found. And not only that, in evidence, because they argued if it was a PD issue Glock or not, it's stamped for PD. It has an insignia on it that would state that.
I can't believe that they thought that we altered the friggin' interrogation, or that they claim that we did. That's shitty.
That kind of broke my heart. I'm not gonna lie, really puts a sour taste in my mouth. That I personally, if I were to play devil's advocate, glass half full here, they were trying to pull at straws to find any way for this to not go to a closing argument. on the same flip of the token, glass half empty, to put doubt in the capacity of our duties in this investigation in no way, shape, or form couldn't put a sour taste in either one of our mouths. It was disgusting for them to even consider that.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. Siobhan's been pulling a lot of very dodgy shit lately, so
yeah.
Really?
It's
What do you
it's
mean?
disappointing. No, I can't go into details. I'm just her behavior recently that I've witnessed is not the greatest. So I'm unfortunately not surprised that she would go to that low.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Hey, who wants
Hey,
8
Juno.
grand?
What?
Who wants 8 grand?
What?
4?
What?
If you find me a guitar, I'll give you 8 grand for it.
If you find
If you find who?
A guitar, I'll give you 8 grand for
Oh,
it.
a guitar?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Oh.
Ask for Jordan. He probably can. He
No,
has
I
a
really
hand.
asked.
What about hubcap?
I could look around.
He has one, but it was given to him.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What?
The latest 911.
What does it say?
I don't know if all I'm going to say is someone had to go pick someone up, and I don't believe they made it to their destination.
Oh, no.
That is a long name.
Yeah, actually, you know, I kind of look past that. You're not wrong. That's a long ass
What the
fucking
hell is
name.
that name? It's so
Is
long.
that Selena's?
I don't even know. I don't think so. Oh
not
no,
Frost?
it's not Frost. No.
Oh, okay. Because her name is hella long. I remember she showed me her ID. I was like, damn, girl.
I told her, I said, "Are you okay if I call you Selena or I call you Frost, please?"
Well,
out of respect, I don't want to mispronounce your name.
I'm gonna tell Slacks that the judge should be
He just informed us that, or he just informed me that they were in the middle of here. Let's step aside real quick. I'm sorry, this is just something police related. I got 300 bags of chips. They 300 bags of chips.
who is that?
I don't know. To be honest. Slack stated that
It sounds like somebody I used to know.
I think so too. I'm not sure.
A long time ago.
I could ask after.
What about Slacks?
He stated that officers are going to be busy with a raid.
Okay.
Oh fuck. Okay. Whoa.
I'm not on radio.
Oh
Okay,
no.
I gotta see who this.
Look. Just look at. Look at the GPS. That's about where we found the. Oh god, the bricks of cocaine.
What?
Sorry, the bricks of weed. Excuse me.
Oh my god. I usually
I don't refer to a brick of weed. Usually when I hear a brick, I think cocaine.
What? Bones and I found a bunch of marijuana, and we found a brick of marijuana, and I kept, when I was writing my report, I kept wanting to write brick of cocaine.
Yeah,
and I had to
just,
like fix it and put marijuana.
I don't know why I keep doing it. It's like whenever I hear the word brick, I either think.
I've never heard of a brick of marijuana. I've heard of bricks of cocaine.
Yeah, I don't ever hear to marijuana being referred to in brick form, but I understand it. I fucked that up. We found like 30 or so bricks of marijuana near that area. What the hell? What the fuck? Where are they raiding? That is absolutely the fucking corner. I'm so confused.
I'll give whoever in here 8 grand if you find me a guitar.
Oh,
a guitar
look at
for?
the incidents or the reports. 1450.
1450?
Yeah, look at report 1450.
Oh, my numbers are not in order. What the fuck?
Mr. K.
Ooh, okay. I understand why we won't have units for the closing of this case. It's on Grove Street. That's a lot.
Now it makes sense why Rami was yelling. What is this freaking effective immediately until further notice? It is mandatory for all personnel to wear rifle vests on duty. God damn it.
It's okay. If you can't find your... Oh.
I just didn't want to wear it.
Apparently. What the heck? Okay. That's fine. If anyone has a problem with it, just say that we... Oh. You have it.
Put it on.
Okay.
I just didn't want to wear it.
Okay.
Because I'm grumpy.
It's okay. You don't have to stay for the closing if you don't want. I expect this to be quite a while.
No, I'm staying. Well, Flap, I think you did a really good job with all this. You know, I had my doubts about Oliver, but Oliver's all right. I think he did a really good job. I think I was just a little like freaked out by when he said, you know, would we be interested in dropping it down? I don't think he meant anything. He has to like present it to us, right?
Yeah.
You know, but
I'm assuming Rami came to him with that. And he simply was passing I think he was the middleman, just passing the message along, seeing if that would be something that we, the primaries, would entertain. And I think unanimously we disagree in entertaining a misdemeanor for a felonious charge that extends upwards of 190 months.
It's 210 months, I believe.
Is it actually? Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Even I'm wrong. And I thought I was overshooting. And no, you're right. 210 months.
$30,000 fine.
Mm-hmm. I think the point of contingency here with this case is that I think that there were hiccups in the process. I think that, you know, there's some improvements that could have been made. I think we can both agree. I had my doubts at first, especially in some of the way that Oliver was handling, but I think the fact that he highlighted everything in closing and kind of let them ramble, they kind of fumbled themselves a lot. But I know that the facts
they totally fumbled the bag. I think the entire time he had four defense lawyers.
Yeah,
they had 3 plus I think a paralegal, and
I personally don't think Shaban should have been involved as a potential person of interest of conflict. But
you know what I thought was interesting?
What's that?
I thought 2 things were interesting: that they didn't press me more about the kidnapping. And that they didn't focus on the fact that he was shot in the head on scene.
Medical report was all there.
I thought it was crazy they didn't talk about that.
What I
like
thought,
that man was executed.
Yeah. They had so many points they could have talked about, and respectfully speaking, just to kind of make note, how do I say this? In the answer to strike the inconclusive evidence, they fought it, and that argument was inevitably won, right? And yet, in that process, I don't think they hit a single point of that evidence that could have been based on facts and or evidence that we would have missed.
I mean,
they kind of just highlighted the points that we came inconclusive to, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, they could have called like the people that I interviewed. They could have called them as, you know, witnesses. They could have questioned them themselves. Like,
did you hear that one lawyer that turned here? Let's step a little bit further away. Now, there's that one lawyer who stated, he asked me, he's like, so would you say that, you know, so you the initial gunshot, you'd say that Murphy Braun was shot in the, you know, was shot a minute before, trying to get me to essentially testify that I can prove that Murphy Braun was shot by somebody. And I flat out told him on the stand, nice try.
Mm-hmm.
Because like tried to get me on a full hot gotcha, and I'm just not having that. I can't prove who shot Murphy. I can't prove if Murphy shot himself in the foot. All I can prove is
True.
Murphy has a bullet to the head. That's all I can prove.
Yeah, I don't know. I really, for the amount of lawyers that Murphy has, I feel like it just.
I think they did a good job considering, but I also think that they could have had a better angle on this and had a better fighting case. It would surprise me